All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your weekly market check-in here with myself, Greta Wall. I'm your host. I'm joined by David Prince, leader of T3 Live's Inner Circle Virtual Trading Floor. It is Thursday. We're getting toward the end of what's been an exciting week as of yesterday. David, how is your Thursday going so far?
Today's amazing.
Amazing.
Truly a remarkable day for markets, for many investors, and certainly for myself and Inner Circle. It's
Yeah.
special.
All right. So let's talk about everything that's happened this week. Yesterday was the big day of the week. It's kind of like the week started on Wednesday. The title of our stream today is Pro Trader Reacts, Fed, Meta, Microsoft. So we're going to talk about those three things, but also the upcoming earnings and the trade developments and all of the excitement happening in the market. The never-ending bull market, it seems. You cannot get this market down. Let's start with the Fed. Give me your reaction to the decision. Obviously, the market's like, okay, we didn't expect a rate cut, but it's really about the presser and what the chairman had to say. You always have a good kind of read on what he says in his press conference. So what was your reaction to yesterday's message?
It was about midway through, right? He was great. He was neutral. He was back and forth, but never really gave any insight into counting on September cuts or throwing them aside and saying no shot. And then there was a moment where he actually said, at least we're not hiking rates, or something to that effect. And I said, wow, he had the expression, but he had the balls to say that. That's as bad as it gets. And I said, from here, guys, this is the worst thing he said today. And I said, we're going lower. We went a lot lower. However, I want to make it clear, none of us ever got too bearish because we knew that earnings matter, at least to big cap tech as much as the Fed himself, or Jerome himself, because frankly, they've been working with or without rate cuts, right? So nothing changes there. But reaction yesterday was, okay, can't really hang your hat on definitive rate cuts in September, no matter how often our president screams at the Fed chairman. And, small caps, they're going to need a lot of help. That's not going to work. Housing is going to need some help. That's not going to work. Financials, a little less impressive. And big cap tech, like always, that'll be just fine as long as earnings are fine. So a bit bearish macro in terms of how many areas of the market would work. And, we're doing some shorting and with the Qs and buying, but nothing like, oh my God, time to exit the market, because per usual, big cap tech leads. And it's all based on earnings.
Yeah. Pre-yesterday's Fed meeting, the market, had gotten so frothy that a lot of those smaller trades were working. Housing was starting to work. XBI was starting to move. Small caps were starting to move. And now, like you said, we're shrinking right back into the mega caps and that being the focus. Speaking of the mega cap stocks, Microsoft and Meta both reporting after the close yesterday. What do you want to start with, Microsoft or Meta? Which one?
Just for Microsoft, because I've been less active with them.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So what I told everyone was this. I said, I'm sure Meta and Microsoft both beat and race. Very confident in that. But what I'm not sure about is whether they can pay call buyers. I just can't get excited after the size of the moves. But mind you, I was like, I wouldn't even ponder buying puts, because even if they don't move up enough, I don't think you're going to make money on the put side. So it was really, do you go long, right, for the print, or you have been long, swing long, do you manage your risk? But how much further can they go? So that was my mindset. And I'll worry about them after the print. So Microsoft, to me, was frankly unbelievable. And I was really shocked that with expectations as high as they were, they could hit on all cylinders, including Azure. So I was blown away. But I didn't see much to do with the stock. Didn't really want to short it, didn't really want to buy it. I just said, okay, I'll see what to do tomorrow. But I'm pretty blown away. And I think the street was as well, because the expectations were a move of 20 points. And there was a point in time we were up 45 in the after hours. So literally to see a big cap tech stock, one of the biggest in the world, like Microsoft, move more than double the expected move, the street was blown away as well. So that was my thought there. Didn't see a lot to do. Traded it today when it pulled back for a few dollars, just as a cute buy, but just feel like I'm late. PE's high there. Everything's going well, but I don't see the alpha for me getting involved here. So I'm not really doing much with it besides like a cute scalp early.
Yeah. And even in, I mean, the regular session today up 23 points. That's big on a stock like that.
The expected move. So
Right.
what it's done is it's given back half because it was literally double, which on a big cap like that is unheard.
Yeah. And $4 trillion club, Microsoft becoming the second member with NVIDIA. Meta, you have been active in Meta after the report today, this morning with calls, long, etc. Talk about the Meta report, and I'm sure there's some AI read through to some other stocks as well.
So Meta was our major concern, as was Microsoft, because it relates so much to our core positions and what we've been buying this week, because really the spend, the CapEx spend was what was going to affect some of our biggest positions. So Meta, loved the fact that he's spending and went up as expected, but loved the fact that it was within reason. And he talked about some normalization as far as spend and thought, this works out for some core positions like CoreWeave, sorry for the pun, that we've been buying this week. And wow, the stock trades at a reasonable multiple given that their growth is still expanding and now they're monetizing Reels and they're starting to really get efficient with AI. So when you look across the board, it's like, how do you bet against this? So what we did in after hours, some Q trades, both long and short, no home runs, maybe 5 points one, 3 points the other, and it was, hey, let's see how we shake out today. So what I said today is, hey, listen, if Meta pulls back today, you want to buy it. Like, don't confuse things. Given how strong this quarter was, given how efficient he is in his spending, given the return on the investment, for now, I think it continues to go higher. So if we pull back 10, 15, 20 points, you want to buy it. So I talked about it being more of a cute short at 780, pre-market 783, if that's your type of trade, right? For me, it was like, it's okay, it's not, I didn't short. We pulled back, I got long calls for next week. They performed well, they went up 50%, so I sold most and I hold some. If we get more of an extended pullback towards anywhere near the previous highs at 747, so let's call it 755, 760, I'd gladly add back to Meta. I don't think this moves them. And I still own calls for next week, 785s. But what was more important to us, frankly, was how it relates to CoreWeave. So I like to buy stocks I think aren't broken when people think they are broken, that give you defined levels where risk reward tries, well, I shouldn't say tries, when risk reward to me really sets up and you can start to see some real alpha. So a recent one was Aero Environment, AVAV, and that was CoreWeave the last week for us. And we thought, wow, if spending is going to increase, if there's a week for CoreWeave to rebound, because it's been ugly, it came in 45% from recent highs. There's ARB shorting the stock because of this deal they're doing with Core Scientific. So I put it out on Twitter because I don't like to BS on Twitter with too many ideas. I also don't like to BS after the fact. So it was Friday I wrote, this weekend I wrote, Monday I said, my focus, CoreWeave, 110 to 105. That pocket area, I'm a big fan. Got all the way down to 101, 102. That was the focus all week. We added the Ultra to it, not just CoreWeave, but the Ultra on it. And sure enough, with Meta and Microsoft's numbers and the spend, it was up. It was up more than both Meta and Microsoft were today.
Yeah.
It was up like 14%. So trimmed a lot, still long. Still think we can go higher, but that was our Meta Microsoft play, so to speak.
It's still up more than both of them.
Yeah.
Meta's only up 12.1%, CoreWeave's up 12.5%, and Microsoft's 4%. I mean, the move on Meta, $85. That's wow. Meta has looking back when we went from Facebook to Meta, and we were so focused on the metaverse, right? Zuckerberg got a lot of flack for that. The company got beat up for that they were spending, and there was just no revenue, nothing. And so I feel like he really took that to heart, and they focused back on their core business. They're spending on Reels, they're doing that, and now they're expanding more in the AI space versus the metaverse virtual reality space. How do you feel the company's done on that transition, saying, okay, hey, this isn't working for investors. Let's focus here where we see the future.
Frankly, unbelievable. I've never
Mm-hmm.
seen a company do this type of spend and remain this profitable. I've never seen it in 30 years. Continue to spend and not interfere with your profitability, and continue to see growth arenas. And actually, yeah, like there's some products, right? They released that latest AI version. There were some issues, but overall, they're starting to see new verticals to create revenue. They're starting now talking about advertising on WhatsApp on top of Reels. And the fact that he's able to do the spend and see it be accretive sooner rather than later, the guy's remarkable. I can't say a bad thing about him. I can't. I mean, he's doing a remarkable job. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. All right. The big cap earnings are not over. Amazon and Apple are both after the report today, or after the report. They report after the close today. There we go. Which one are you more focused on, Apple or Amazon?
Amazon, because it's more important to me, right? Like Apple has issues. We know it has issues.
Mm-hmm.
And remember the old days, if Apple doesn't work, the market can't. Like
yeah. Now it's NVIDIA.
that came and went. So of course Amazon, but what's maybe the opportunity is Apple has nothing priced in, right? I used to say, like, when people would make fun of Tim Cook, I'm like, listen, it's one of the best operators in history. You can't say that. But I told people, listen, okay, after missing cloud, after missing AI or messing up AI, after missing internet security, like these huge macro themes that people are creating organic companies and amazing growth like Amazon and AWS, or just acquisitions like the way Meta does in Instagram, whatever the hell it is, he's missed these huge themes sitting on so much cash, and the biggest company he buys is a headphone company. I mean, it's hard to defend him at this point. So here's what I said. At some point, right, and I don't pretend to be smart as him or an operator like him. I can't touch the guy, right? I should give him like a pedicure at best. But I can still say my feelings. I guess he's kind of gotten complacent. Like, I think he has to have a come to Jesus moment, and at some point on a conference call say, okay, maybe I'm losing too much talent. I kept my eye off the ball. I was too worried about managing our cash cow, right? And I didn't look towards the future. I'm waiting for that moment for things to turn, or frankly, shock people and say, this is what we're doing with AI. You weren't aware, and we're acquiring this company. But at some point in time, he's got to have like a moment to say, I might have missed a couple turns here, and this is my plan. And by the way,
he needs a Zuckerberg moment, right?
Frankly, yeah. Now, it's not, you almost can't expect it from a man his age that's been around this long. So maybe somewhere in between, right? Like, it maybe not be as quick a turn, but I'm thinking at some point he probably should say, I got to do this, and this. And I recognize that I might have made a couple of mistakes.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the last iPhone announcement definitely had more AI stuff in it. Like, they're definitely hinting that they're focusing more there, but we definitely need to hear in the conference call that is.
You got guys like Zuckerberg offering $1 billion to people. That ain't hinting. That's like,
no, I mean,
no, I understand what you mean. Follow me. Mm-hmm. You have people out there that aggressive making those types of bets. This guy's losing talent, doesn't have a product. So clearly, perplexing, all these things going on, investments. Everyone else thinks it's of the utmost importance. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. It's of utmost importance for their company's future to bet on AI, except for Tim Cook. So that's my point.
Yeah. We need more than a hint. We need a really clear, like, this is our investment. This is exactly what we're doing. Just talk about Amazon really quickly. Apple, you say, has the better, has the better risk reward on the chart. But
the read through on Amazon should be great, right? AWS, consumer stays strong. Tariffs hopefully not killing their business. So here's the issue. Boy, the expectations just went a lot higher after Microsoft, Azure, and some of these moves, and the move in Amazon off of Microsoft. So The only issue with it is expectations just ratcheted it up a great deal. But I do expect a solid report. I'm just worried that it'll be a little harder. Like the bad news, they're coming after Microsoft and Meta. So and even Alphabet. So it's just hard to be super bullish because the pressure's on. But I expect a solid report.
All right, real quickly before I let you go, you were super active in the after hours session last night. I get your trade alerts, and it was like 7 o'clock on the East Coast. You're still trading, still doing things. Was it the trade deal that had you the South Korea announcement, or what?
Keeping my mind open. I'll give you an example. One of my trades last night was, oh my God, I keep talking about Costco owning this.
Oh yeah, you were buying Costco.
Retailer that has done nothing but go down. I'm like 26, 27 relative strength, 924. Yeah, 924. I got to own this. And buying calls is too difficult. They're thin. At least I can buy the stock. I got to own them. So I bought some at 924. It's 942 right now. It was 945 before. So that was one. And then there were little things like I heard the commentary from Microsoft CEO about quantum being the next great growth frontier. And I'm not an idiot. I get it. They're not going to make much money for several years, but I still know how those stocks trade. So I bought some QBTS and it continues higher today. And then more importantly, when you get those monster ranges in Meta, you can trade. So there was a point where I shorted Meta because it wasn't an indictment on their numbers. It was just, oh my God, this is up 50% more than the expected move. It'll probably pull back 5, 10. It did. And then we got long and then it rallied 10 and I sold it, which was too early because it kept going another 20. So Meta was very tradable and active in a 20, 25 point range late in the night. The QBTS off the Microsoft commentary. And then finally, right at the close, that new IPO, I just like the name. I like the action, this AMBQ, less power needed in their semiconductor business. It's, semiconductor right now, it's all about, oh my God, they take so much power and everything overheats and you need cooling systems. And they're the opposite of that. They look to be the cure of that on the other side. It's like teeny deal, 4 million shares. You trade as high as almost 50. It's 38 at the close. I got to buy some. So I bought a bunch right at the close, and today it's $48. That's just luck. I got flat, and I sold it a few points ago because I was like, wow, what am I? So that's why we were so active in after hours.
Yeah, I was getting alerts. I was like, dang.
And then CoreWeave.
Yeah, CoreWeave.
Points, and we were overweighted in CRWV, CWBX, all those. So the ultras, I was like, all right, I think it'll keep going tomorrow. I see it going to at least 116 and then 120, but up, 7, 8 after the close, we trimmed some of that. So that was where we're at.
Real quickly, tariffs, Amazon. Do you expect to hear a lot from Amazon about tariffs, or are they just focusing their business?
All packages, how that's being affected, because like there seems to be a lot of commentary on that, and that relates to them, and of course how it relates to like Futu and Temu. So I have to think they address it 1,000%. What they say, I'm not smart enough and not an expert with tariff to say I really anticipate this, but it has, for very clear reasons. Is it their growth vehicle? No, like without AWS, Amazon is not Amazon, right? So we're really focused on AWS. But of course, there's such a huge revenue base, right? You don't want to lose that or eat into the margins are that slim, right? We know why we use Amazon. So all that stuff will matter.
Yeah. Raj wants your thoughts on Circle.
So Circle, we were really active and it's been a big win for us, both short and then long. It's messy here. I don't know if I'm right. I believe in stablecoin as an opportunity. I believe they are not the only play. And the bubble, so to speak, up at 300 is broken. And ideally, I'd like to see it closer to 150, 160 to be back involved. That might be too cute. So for right now, anyone trading it, they're looking at 171 to see if that bottom level holds, and it's average to below average here, especially on a day like today. Coin rallied yesterday on the JPM news. It continues today. They got the print tonight and Circle's down. It's kind of like not interesting to me here. But if you're long term, I believe in it. It's just I can't make a reason why you'd buy it here. In the past, I bought it down here for that rally over 200. Here, it's blah to me. If it breaks down, breaks through that 171 pivot, let me look at the chart. I'm trying to talk to you guys, so I'm trying not to focus too much on the stock. So the chart's so messy. 171 and the previous size. For me, it's not interesting until it gets between 145 and 165, and then I feel like risk reward sets up all over again. 50-day 143. So ideally, anywhere near 150. Ooh, that's an exciting play. Is it ever going back to 150? I don't know.
All right. Tomorrow is the tariff deadline. We have some deals so far. We have the UK, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Japan, EU, South Korea last night. Technically, there's like a truce with China that's going to last longer than tomorrow. It's supposed to last till August 12th. Based on the market's reaction to the deals that have been announced so far, how are you expecting tomorrow to be?
Not relevant at this point. We have enough on the surface, right? Whether it be percent talking about China today, whether it be the comments about India every single day. There is so much talk that the shock and awe on the good or bad announcements, it's like, it's been talked ad nauseum, and now you have the news out of the Fed, the FOMC. You really had important economic news this week. NFP will be important tomorrow, of course. But when you have all that and you have earnings out, it takes out some of the importance. Like for a while, we were just hanging on that because we're waiting on earnings and does it affect in the future? Frankly, I think there's like, people are like, oh, I'm so sick of hearing about it. I don't care. I like Meta because here's my earnings growth and this is his spend, and I still think it's going to grow. That's how people are thinking. I don't think unless we get into a full blown, China's like, the odds of us making a deal are zero, and we're going to go take Taiwan. Have a nice life, Mr. Trump. Something like that happens, the market will care. For now, I think they're exhausted, and it doesn't matter that much.
I totally spaced on that. There's an NFP tomorrow.
Yeah,
this is the craziest week. Such a busy week.
I can remember. Numbers, because of our chairman and because he said you can't hang your hat on a rate cut, like the NFP, matter more than normal. So they can move us 1.5% pretty quickly because everything's now down to jobs and inflation for the next 2 months.
Well, and really, I would assume the market is looking for a weak report if they want a rate cut.
And the evidence is because they're like, well, companies are still operating just fine. So I can still own big cap tech growth. They're operating. I don't have to worry about a big bad recession, but I still need proof of a slowdown because that guy, Mr. Jerome, he's still really neutral, and the only way he's changing course is if a number forces him to.
Do you think the Fed is going to get caught in a, oh, we were too late again, like they did with rate hikes?
Let me call one of my smart friends. They're asking me one of those complex. No, seriously, I really am up in the air. My gut has always been we're not going to see inflation the way they think we are.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
My gut is we're not going to see it. And in simple terms, I believe certain companies will not pass it on to the consumer the way perhaps our Federal Reserve thinks we will. And I believe it's there. We already see little instances, but I don't believe it's going to be passed on to the consumer and quite as bad as many think. So my gut is that is the case, but I think he's safer. I'm just looking like risk reward, right? Yeah. Especially when you see numbers like this, I think, and I understand where he's coming from, there's more risk of cutting too soon, right? And actually helping inflation when it looks like it's in check, helping inflation reignite. So I get why he's doing it. So to me, does he have PTSD because of the mistake last time? I don't know, but I get why he's hesitant. Because even if it looks like it's in check and it's maybe not going to, like, why light the fire? Things are going pretty well here. Interesting things. I'm going away in a week or two. I'm traveling, right? And it's got to be quick with the kids, so I'm not going to Europe. It's just going to go somewhere, I don't know, probably Costa Rica or St. Bart's, someplace, which no one goes to in August. want to know the truth? The whole world is going to the Caribbean in August. Like, people are still, I was in shock. I was like, no one goes to St. Bart's in August. Let's go there. And she's like, it's booked. I'm like, it's rainy season. Like, hurricanes come. My point is, people are still spending money. The economy's doing just fine. Meta's killing it. Microsoft's killing it. It turns out that this AI theme that Dan Ives has talked about being the golden age, he was right. It's pretty golden. So I don't know. Like, why does he have to cut rates? Like, who's he have to save? I get it. Real estate sucks, but there's something going on here that we don't talk about enough. And I know it for a fact, because every home I sold, the price has gone up so much, I realize I suck as a real estate investor, maybe as a trader too, but the prices of a lot of housing from COVID lows is still much higher. So as bad as real estate is right now, we're still higher. So I don't see why it has to cut. So I think he's doing it the right way.
All right. Hey, Caribbean in August isn't bad. I took my.
You know what I mean? There should be.
It rained. My honeymoon was in August to Jamaica.
I was shocked.
It said it was going to rain every single day, and it did not. So that was nice.
You get the idea. Right? People are spending and out there trying.
Totally.
He doesn't need to save a bunch of people. So I think he's doing it the right way. But I'm not a macro genius. So that's my best guess. All
right, David. It is, as we mentioned, a crazy week. You still have Amazon and Apple coming up after the close today, the NFP tomorrow, the tariff deadline tomorrow. So I'm going to let you get back to trading. You can go to t3live.com/DP if you want to get David's free newsletter. This is sent out on Tuesdays. It's a readout of his morning call. You can get all his levels and stuff for the day. It's good stuff, all for free. t3live.com/DP for that. David, have a great rest of your day today. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll talk next week.
Have a great day. Thanks, guys.
Bye.